Making the Cut, Part 2. Stephen here with Masada Tactical. Today we're going to be focusing on the Karambit as an everyday carry tool and a utilitarian tool. So let's talk about the Karambit, and specifically as an everyday carry knife. It's become very popular in most people's EDC. Its history comes from Indonesia, and depending on what islands in Indonesia, there can be slight variations to it. After Hindu influence, it did take on a general theme and design, which you see today. Its design itself comes from a tiger claw, which they thought was the perfect shape for a blade, and that's where its design kind of originates from as it's passed down in oral history. Originally an agricultural tool, but quickly became a combative tool and a self-defense tool. The karambits you see for combat are typically larger, for self-defense smaller, as you see here on the table today. So we're quickly going to discuss the different variations you see in the karambit. It is a phenomenal everyday carry self-defense tool, specifically self-defense, and I won't say offense because it's not designed for stabbing, it's not designed for thrusting, it's more of a slashing type tool and a control type everyday tool. So you're going to have two variations of the karambit. One is a fixed. All right, this is a fixed karambit, and it's also double-edged, which is your typical self-defense type karambit, with what's now known as a finger ring or a safety ring. Right, and this is one of the popularities of this because it's harder to disarm someone utilizing a karambit because of that safety ring, because it's wrapped around the hand and it's through that finger loop. So it's harder to disarm someone carrying it. Your other options are a folding karambit, which is very common, right? Just like your typical pocket knives, it just folds, snaps open, but still the karambit design. Right? This is a one-sided karambit, but still can be used for blunt force striking on the opposite side. Right? Other variations you'll see are daggers with the safety ring. These are not karambits, but kind of fall into the same family because of that finger ring, but we'll talk about daggers in another video. Other variations you'll see as well are the finger ring moved forward up. This is a bear claw, similar to the tiger claw, more utilitarian and rescue type tool. So again, the karambit itself is primarily a utilitarian tool, great for cutting ropes through large objects. Because of that curvature, you get more leverage and force, kinetic force when applying it, but also for self-defense. And it's one of the few knives that you can easily conceal and strike multiple times with one movement, which is the popularity behind the karambit. Most typical knives, as you'll see with a dagger, I'm going to thrust or slash once and have to reset the knife in order to strike again. With the karambit's design in a reverse grip and the finger ring, I can control, I can stab, and employ the knife in an elongated way, again, to strike. And again, this comes with practice and training. This is the popularity of the karambit. So I'm getting multiple strikes with one movement, whether it's a stab and a flick to inflict more damage with blunt side or a sharp side here, and I'm cutting, and then I can re-employ the knife. Easily concealed, easy to carry. Again, if you do employ a karambit, train with it. I always carry my trainer with me wherever I go so that I can practice and not hurt myself, especially with a double-sided knife, because it's just as dangerous to me when I'm employing it as it is to my adversary. So make sure you train with your tools properly. The karambit is a phenomenal everyday carry knife. Masada staff employs it regularly alongside our knife that BK designed. I carry multiple knives for different reasons. My karambit is primarily a self-defense tool. So again, its history comes from Indonesia, primarily used in the martial art of Silat. All right, so if you do decide to employ karambit, look at Silat training to really make yourself proficient with the karambit. But general knife fighting styles will cover general usage and strikes. But the karambit is a very specific type of tool, used in this very specific type of way, and primarily for self-defense. So again, train properly, use it properly, and know what you're using it for. So again, if you choose to carry a karambit as an everyday carry self-defense tool, please make sure you train with it properly, understand its use and how it's used, so you don't hurt yourself in the process. All right, please continue to follow us on all social media channels. If you have specific questions about edged weapons, firearms, whatever it may be for BK or myself, please don't hesitate to put them on there. And as always, as I like to say, please continue to train to fight so when the time comes, you don't have to.